The average American spends 4 hours and 37 minutes every single day on their phone. That adds up roughly to 1 day a week, 6 days a month, and 70 days per year. You could totally fact check me here. Just get on your phone and ask Google. How much time do you spend every day on your phone? 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 23 hours. I'm embarrassed to admit how much time I spend on my phone. And the time that I spend on my phone is not making phone calls like it's intended to do. Usually I spend my time just mindlessly scrolling Instagram, checking recipes on Facebook, and deleting junk email. I spend more time with my phone than I do with my husband. It's the first thing I touch when I wake up and the last thing I touch before I fall asleep. Right now, I average 3 hours and 13 minutes of screen time on my phone every single day. And I touch my phone an average of 277 times a day. I touch my phone more than I touch my husband. Who wrote this script? I was excited to learn that while I thought my screen time was really high, it's actually below average. I'm below average. Ha! But I'm still not happy with this number. Most of my screen time is spent on email, Instagram, and Facebook because I'm Gen X. So here's my plan. I'm deleting all social media apps and email from my phone from Thanksgiving until New Year's Day. And to take it one step further, I'm only allowing myself 10 minutes a day to check social media and to send and respond to emails on my laptop computer. I'm also not scheduling or planning any social media updates on the Hike Like a Woman channels. I'm going silent. Let's do this.
I used to sit in the school pickup line and just scroll through Instagram, and now I don't have Instagram on my phone. I don't have email. My phone is actually very boring without social media on it, which is kind of a good thing.
I have a confession. This morning, instead of scrolling through social media on my phone, I just picked up my iPad and I wasted about 45 minutes on Instagram. So I have deleted Instagram and Facebook from my iPad because it's basically just a big phone.
This is annoying. My kid is like, hey mom, did you get that thing from my teacher about the place where we need to meet for that thing tonight? And I was like, oh, it's in my email, but I don't have email on my phone. So now I'm logging in to my email through the internet browser on my phone, which is totally fine. It's just taking a lot more time than just clicking open my email to figure out where my kid needs to be, or where I was supposed to be 10 minutes ago, because naturally we're running late. Without social media and email, my phone is basically a tool for me to use Garmin Connect, Maps, the Notes app for our grocery list. What else do I use? I don't know. But I used to sit in the school pickup line and scroll through social media on my phone. But now I've been reading a book while I'm waiting for my children to get done with school. I'm reading Worthy by Jamie Kern Lima. She's a little bit Jesus-y, but it's pretty good. And I think it's just a healthier habit to just read a book instead of scroll through social media. So I'm really proud of myself for this change. And I might always keep a book in my car because, like, why not? Why not read while I'm waiting instead of just scroll through Instagram? And that's my puppy. He's desperately waiting for his best friends to get done with school.
During this period of time, I had 2 visits to my oncologist, waiting to get labs done, waiting for lab results, seeing the doctor. That all takes a lot of time. And the cancer center is one of the most depressing places on the planet. Usually when I go to the cancer center, I sit there on my phone and I try not to talk to anyone. I kind of just retreat into myself. But since my phone was super boring now and in my purse, when I went to the cancer center for these appointments, there was nothing to do except stare at the wall. But on my very first appointment, something just kind of amazing happened. I had my phone in my purse. I'm just sitting in my chair waiting to go get my labs done. And this woman sat next to me. She was maybe in her 70s, maybe even in her 80s. And she sat down next to me and She started a conversation with me about Christmas cards and getting Christmas cards ready to send out and how expensive it was to pay for a stamp to send Christmas cards out this year. And I feel like I actually made a new friend at the Cancer Center because I put my phone away and I was willing and open to accept a conversation with a stranger. The other problem that I had with this challenge was it was during the holidays. So there was a lot of concerts and movies and games and activities that we went to, things that required a ticket, and everything's a digital ticket these days. So I would book the ticket or the event online, and then I would show up at the event and I would be like, oh no, the ticket is in my inbox. So then I would have to go to the browser on my iPhone and type in Gmail and then find my username and my password and log into my email the old-fashioned way in order to get the digital tickets to go to that concert or movie or game or whatever. This was not really that big of a deal. It just took a couple extra minutes to type my email into the search engine, and it wasn't too big of a problem. And I realize now that I could have just used the digital wallet on my iPhone to store the tickets. And that's what I'm doing now, but it took me a month to realize that. When I deleted the social media apps from my phone, when I deleted email from my phone, I thought that I might feel judged for not posting frequently on the Hike Like a Woman channels. I thought that I might not book as many trips as normal because I wasn't promoting them as frequently on the Hike Like a Woman social media. Thought maybe people would forget about me. That's so ridiculous. But after a few days, really, I just didn't care about social media anymore. I didn't care about checking it, and I didn't even really miss checking it. I missed a few things, like I love to ski and I love to follow World Cup cross-country skiing and biathlon and downhill skiing. So I wasn't following my favorite athletes as they were competing in World Cup races. So I did miss checking in on Jessie Diggins every once in a while. But when it came to most of the outdoor influencer, I hate that word, but it's a word, the outdoor influencer accounts that I follow, I realized that everyone is just posting the same thing anyway. So I wasn't really missing out. And I found that by giving myself 10 minutes a day to check email, respond to email, and check social media, there wasn't any pressure for me to post on the one social media that I have that's personal. And I posted a couple times on my personal Facebook account, and that's because I genuinely wanted to have conversations with my Facebook friends and with family members who follow me on Facebook. During this challenge, I realized just how much time I was spending on social media every day, and it just made me really aware of my patterns and behaviors when I'm on the internet. And being off social media actually just gave me this whole spark of creativity. And I think if you've been checking out our social media channel, you've noticed kind of a shift there. I feel like I can let weird, quirky, cringy Rebecca loose now on social media. I don't have to hide and have to try to do what everybody else is doing. I feel like I can really let my personality come through. And you would think after 45 years, I wouldn't care what other people think about me on social media, but now I really don't care because it just doesn't matter. So here are the results of my social media sabbatical. I got the screen time on my phone down to 8 minutes a day. That's huge. That's incredible. I'm super stoked about that. And now my goal is to see if I can get it down to 5 minutes a day. I lost about 400 followers on the Hike Like a Woman Instagram account. But that's okay. I don't mind losing followers because I feel like the people who like Hike Like a Woman and who like us as a brand and as an outdoor company are going to stick around. And the people who left are people who don't really want to book a trip and hang out with us in real life. So it's cool that they also don't want to hang out with us online. I didn't really see any differences in the amount of trip bookings from not posting on social media. We still had, I think, 6 or 7 people book adventures with us during this time period, even though the only way to find out, or the only way that I was promoting trips, was during our weekly newsletter. So I didn't really see an impact. And trips are the only way that I make any money with Hike Like a Woman. And even then, it's not very much money. I didn't really notice that loss of income or potential revenue. I realized that when I did post something on my personal Facebook page, it was fun and it was meaningful. I did post once on the Hike Like a Woman Facebook page during this time period, because it was when I was going through and creating the survey that's going on right now, the survey that's going to help you tell me where you want to go on a trip in 2026. And there's going to be another video coming out soon talking all about that survey. But email is a completely different story. By not like responding to every single email initially, my inboxes just got out of control. I usually am like a big inbox zero girl, and I am not at inbox zero right now. And I actually might just select all and delete on all of my inboxes. I still don't have a solution for that, but I really want to get back to inbox zero without having to put email or social media back on my phone. It's been a few days since the challenge has ended. And where I'm at right now is I'm going to try to keep doing the 10-minute rule day and spending 10 minutes a day on social media and on email. And I think I can do it. I don't plan on putting social media back on my phone. I don't plan on putting email back on my phone because I've just enjoyed being without it so much. I'm going to use Apple Wallet to store tickets for things. So we're headed to Iceland in a few weeks, and I'm going to put Instagram back on my phone for Iceland just to make it easy, because I know that when we're on group trips, people are at home and they want to know exactly what we're doing, where we are, and what we're seeing. So Instagram's going to go on my phone just a couple days before the trip and a couple days after the trip, and then I am going to remove it. I don't want to shame people for loving social media, because I still love social media. I don't want to shame people for having social media apps and email on your phone. I realize that that's like a very personal decision and a very personal choice. What I want to say is that it can be done if you want it. And if you don't want it, then don't do it. It's just a decision that I've made, and I've noticed so many good changes in my life since removing social media and since removing email and since setting up some boundaries for myself regarding those two things. Those are my thoughts on my social media sabbatical. Now go check out this video next, because YouTube thinks you're going to like it.